Hey guys! In today's video, I'll show you how to make a tie-up tank top using the material from a big dress shirt. To start making the shirt, you're going to need a big dress shirt. I recommend following the tutorial and making your pattern first, and then bringing the pattern to the store to make sure that the shirt has enough material. Depending on what fabric you use, you can make a shirt to go out in, or even a pajama shirt. The first shirt I made was using a regular dress shirt with no stretch. It was 50% cotton and 50% polyester, and I really liked how this one turned out. My lines were really straight, it was easy to trace the pattern onto, and I think it sits really well on me. This shirt also had a pocket on it, and I left it on my shirt because I don't mind the look, but maybe you do. The second shirt I made was with a material that was a little bit more flexible, and I found it harder to trace the pattern onto it and to make my lines as straight as I wanted them to be, but it still worked out fine and looks good. Now let me walk you through drawing out the pattern for your shirt. Everyone's body is a little bit different, so I hope the measurements can work for you, but if not, just make whatever adjustments necessary. In the description below, I'll also post a picture with the measurements so you can also refer to that when drawing your pattern. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do is get two measurements in inches. Your band measurement just under your chest, and from under your armpit down to your hips, or however long you wish the top to be. For your materials, you'll need two big sheets of paper to draw your pattern. This is a cheap roll from IKEA. An iron, cutting and writing supplies, pins, a tank top to trace, your material, measuring tools, and a sewing machine and thread. Start off with drawing the pattern. Draw a horizontal line with the measurements 1/4 of your bust plus 3 inches. Draw a vertical line on the left side. This is a temporary line with your length measurement. Now from the top of this line, mark 1 inch to the right. We'll connect this mark to the bottom left point as a permanent line. On the right side of your horizontal line, draw a line vertically up, height minus 3 inches. Back to the horizontal bottom line. From the middle, draw a temporary vertical line up with the length height plus 5 inches. Join the top of this line with the top of the line on the right. Now to connect the middle line and left line, trace the armpit of a tank top that you have. Preferably one with no stretch if your material is not stretchy like mine. Now this will be one of the back pieces. Cut this shape out and trace it onto the second piece of paper. From the bottom right corner, measure 1 inch down and 1.5 inches to the left. Mark this spot. Going up to your diagonal line on the right, extend it by 4 inches. Join the end of this line with your new point at the bottom and the new point with the bottom left corner of the shirt. These new lines will make the front of the shirt. Going back to the back panel, measure 3/4 of an inch from the top of the right side. Draw a diagonal down to the bottom corner and cut this piece out to make it fit your back better. Cut the front panel out and you're done. Here you can see the difference between the front and back panels. The armpit and side edges line up perfectly, and the other 3 edges are different. To prepare your shirt, neatly cut off the bottom hem in long pieces and save it as we'll be using it for something else. Cut along the joints in the fabric to make big pieces and iron them flat. You may need to open up the seams where the buttonholes are to give you more space. For myself, I used the front 2 pieces as the fabric for my back panels and the back piece for my front panels, as this is where they fit. Pin your pattern to the fabric as flat as you can and trace the pattern out onto the fabric. Cut your pieces out with enough room to let you sew whatever seam allowance you prefer. To prepare the other pieces, you're going to want to use the strip of material where the buttons are. Remove the buttons, turn it over, and remove the seam. You're going to cut this out and make sure there's at least 1/2 inch of fabric on the side of both folds. You'll fold these in half, iron them, sew them, and use them as your straps. I cut mine out to be 8 inches long each and shortened them later. And remember the trim you cut off before? You want to cut these into 4 12-inch pieces, or make new ones which look a bit neater, 1/6 of an inch wide. Now you're ready to sew everything together. This is the way the front and back panels should line up. Halfway up the height of the top, you need to sew in 2 of the thin strips. One that comes to the inside of the shirt, and the other that goes to the outside. The one that goes to the outside, you'll need to sew in when you sew the 2 panels together. You'll connect the other 2 pieces to the side corners of the front panels near the end. I recommend sewing the back V edges first, and then connecting all the panels together so that the middle corner is very clean. Once the 4 panels are connected, sew up all the edges. For the edges that aren't connected to another piece, I folded and ironed down, folded in again, and ironed to make sure that these came out really neat. For the seams that connected to other pieces, I first connected them, then also folded the material in and sewed this shut. Now for the straps. I sewed along the edge to close them, tucked in the edges, and put the point of the shirt into the strap and sewed it shut. Here's the final product. I actually found that the shirt fit a lot better when the straps were shorter. I hope you guys like the shirt and give the tutorial a try. It was my first sewing project after many years, so it's not that difficult, it just takes some patience. Leave me a comment and thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks, bye!